A leading mindfulness teacher shares insights to counter tech addiction and isolation. Jon Kabat-Zinn is a leading researcher into the health effects of meditation. In 1979, a report from the Surgeon General inspired Jon Kabat-Zinn to action. It was an extremely powerful articulation that no matter how many billions of dollars we throw at the problems of health in the American population, no amount of money can do the job, says Kabat-Zinn, who at the time was a researcher at University of Massachusetts Medical School and taught yoga and meditation on the side. So Kabat-Zinn started a clinic to teach what he called Mindfulness-Based Stress Reduction, or MBSR, at UMass Medical School. The 8-week course offered a structured, secular approach to meditation, which involves learning to maintain awareness in the body in the present moment. In the decades that followed, his scientific studies, teachings and books grew into a movement, now active in hundreds of hospitals and medical centers, to use meditation and mindfulness in mainstream medical care. In recent years, mindfulness has gained traction as a potential tool to address problems on the population level, including trauma, loneliness and addiction. In a wide-ranging interview, Kabat-Zinn shared his thoughts on how mindfulness can extend beyond individual self-improvement and affect social change. These interview excerpts have been edited for length and clarity. 1. The widespread adoption of mindfulness today is radical beyond imagining. Medicine doesn't handle many of the societal problems that we're facing now very well. If you look at the number of papers published per year on the subject of mindfulness in medical literature, it's just exploded and it's continuing to go in that direction. This is what Vivek Murthy is doing. He has put out his own guided mindfulness meditations on an app called Calm. 2. Mindfulness combats social isolation by helping us connect with ourselves and others. There's a big difference between being lonely, which is behind the epidemic of loneliness, and learning how to be alone. It's very hard to be with other people in an authentic way unless you know yourself. Mindfulness is so powerful because it teaches you how to be at home with yourself, starting with the body. You are a remarkable human being with infinite capacities for love, wisdom, connectivity, for contributing to making the world a safer, better place, or for whatever it is that you most love. And it has profound implications for healing, both at the level of the body and at the level of the body politic and therefore public health. The more people take responsibility for themselves, the more they recognize that there is no such thing as myself in isolation. 3. In our tech-driven world, the big risk is that you end up being remote from yourself. We're so distracted. We were so distractible for thousands of years before the advent of the digital revolution. And what are we diverting ourselves from? Who we actually are. Ultimately, the biggest public health problem is that you end up being remote from yourself. Already, many are sounding the alarm that the mental health consequences of these kinds of digitized relationships are creating a kind of environment of dis-ease. Let's put a hyphen between the dis and the ease that can lead to all sorts of real disease. 4. Befriend your mind and you may discover there's more right with you than wrong with you. The work of mindfulness is the interior work of cultivating moment-to-moment awareness, of paying attention to one's own mind, one's own body, one's own heart, the ways in which the mind plagues us and drives us crazy and compounds our stress. My default mode, as the neuroscientist might say, is awareness rather than the helter-skelter mind that's all over the place, liking this, not liking that, having ideas about how I'm not good and all of that kind of stuff. 5. Life itself is the meditation practice. It's better not to have an agenda time-wise on how long this should take before I reach full liberation or anything like that. If you just think of it as sitting, you'd be wrong in a certain way because it's living. If life itself is not the meditation practice, then there is no meditation practice. There are an infinite number of doors into the room of mindfulness or heartfulness. And it doesn't matter which door you go through. The important thing is to enter the room of your own potential as a human being.